So Skate is finally out, and it's come out to the public with very mixed reviews. Now, I'm not here to change your opinion on whether you like the game or not. I'm here to give opinions and suggestions on how to make this game better. Also, I know there's a ton of technical issues, but I'm not going to be going over them because I know the dev team is quickly trying to fix those issues. So before I dive into what I want to see, here are the things that Skate has announced that will be coming in the future. By looking at the roadmap, they have confirmed a few things, such as new co-op challenges, more brands and cosmetics, new game modes, party voice chat, new tricks such as improving hand plants and foot plants, dark slides are making a return, and adding a new trick, the impossible. More character customizations such as tattoos, adding leaderboards to the game, created parks, and improved replay editor. For those last 3 points, I would like to expand more on them. Anything park related, I would suggest talking to Dies about his input. He has some great ideas such as making game modes possible within your own park. For leaderboards, whether if it's the fastest time or the highest points, I would like it to be like Steep leaderboards. Steep has a leaderboard system where it shows you the best score or the best time of the day, of the week, the month, all time, and you can filter it with your friends list. But when it comes to replays, we're all thinking keyframes because that's what's missing right now. There are no keyframes. But what I personally want are locally stored replays like you had in the previous 3 games. You would be able to save your replay and at any time go back and make angles for that replay. And as of right now, you can only export them as a video in terrible capture quality. But not only can we have locally stored replays, I would like the ability to give other people my replays so they can actually do angles on it for themselves without having to hop on my account. Basically, the Halo file share system. There are most likely other games that do that. Halo is just the only one that I know. Not sure if this covers the improvement of the replay editor, but anytime I'm in free cam, can it just stay there without my character being so far away that the camera moves on its own? One last thing about replays, when I'm spectating someone, can my replay editor please also capture that? Thank you. Now onto more general complaints, something everyone would agree would be better if they changed them or removed them. First off, offline mode. Oh, I'm gonna queue now. 926,000 position?
What?
1 hour wait time. Please, I know all the challenge objectives and all the shop is all tied to the server, but let us just boot into the map and let us free skate. Second biggest complaint, art style, specifically for the characters. Yeah, the city could use more grunge, but the city and the characters just doesn't fit what Skate used to be. The stylistic choice reminds me of Need for Speed Unbound, a game made by EA that had realistic grunge but decided to go for a more artistic depiction. And that fan base too also did not like the change in art direction. Another big one, private lobbies. Let us be by ourselves or with friends only. Thank you. The next general complaint, voice acting.
Looking good. You're showing an eye for obstacles that are shreddable.
A lot of people have said that they have enjoyed the game much more after they turned off voice acting. I gotta agree, it sounds very bland and corporate. And yeah, I know, these people are being voiced by pro skaters, but they're pro skaters, not voice actors. If you want these pro skaters in the game, put them in the game. Let Sean Malto be Sean Malto. Another thing with these characters, they're just talking figures on the bottom right of your screen. They're not there to interact with you. They're just here to say, hey, check out this spot, learn how to manual. Bring back the cutscenes that we've had in previous games. And don't give us a here's a 3D model, but you can only talk to them as if it's a first-person perspective of an RPG. Speaking about voice acting, V.
Wait, a key to open a bag? Investigate word choice.
You either get rid of her, or you change her personality, because no one wants to keep hearing V talk. And I, for one, am grateful that I can disable her gameplay comments. And finally, the challenges. It's the same challenges recycled every 3 days. Once you complete all of them, you have to wait until the next day till you can do the next set of challenges. Like, I get it, you guys can't just create infinite amount of missions, because it takes a while to make. But with that being said, there should be other ways to earn rip chips. As of now, the only other game mode we could play are throwdowns. And winning a throwdown does not give you any rewards. Maybe when the new game modes come out, they do give you rip chips.
All right, chat, you're about to see hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby.
Oh, you're under the map. That's it for general complaints, but I still want to talk about missions. When it comes to own the spots in previous games was just get the highest points possible in any way, shape, or form. But the own the spots requirements act more like an actual pro mission than an actual own the spot. The next challenge complaint I have are line challenges. The concept of a line challenge, I'm okay with. Go to a certain spot, reach the requirement for the amount of flip tricks, for the amount of grinds, the amount of grabs, whatever. The only thing I hate are bearings. Oh wait, is this
Oh
this?
no, this is this
that
challenge. Fuck! Don't even.
The amount of times where I missed a bearing and then I had to circle back to collect it is too many times. Specifically on the Salmon Run challenge where I happened to miss this gap of the bearing and there's no way to actually get up because if I get off my board, I reset. Or a compromise that I've heard from a couple people, keep the bearings but allow us to get off our board. You can get off your board in this game and your line still counts. So why does it end in this mission? Another personal gripe I have with missions, everything is highlighted. Yes, I see the icon, I know where I have to trick. Can we have an option like Skate 3 where it's just outlined and not have the full object a big flashbang? Make it even a toggle for people who don't want to see it versus the fully highlighted version. In the current build, if you're in a party and someone starts a mission, if a party member is looking in a menu, they don't get sucked into the mission. It's as if they hit the auto decline button. Sticking with the party, if you're not the party host, please give us the ability to recommend a mission, like we were able to propose stuff in Skate 3. When completing a party mission, you get sent to the celebration screen. Is there a possible way that I could just not do that? Again, make it a toggleable thing, but I would like to collect my rewards and move on to the next mission. When it comes to getting to the missions, can I actually just teleport to the challenge rather than the nearest bus stop? I don't know. Maybe I was just lazy and I was babied in being able to teleport directly onto the mission. Last thing about missions. When opening up the map, is there a way where I could toggle already completed missions so they don't pop up? Because some missions get pretty cluttered and I just can't see if it's completed or not. Alright, now to talk about the store. It's a live service store. Skate will never be the $60 game that we all used to know. So with that said, when it comes to bundles, can we buy the individual parts and not the whole thing? And if you do buy the whole thing, make it a discount compared to buying individual items. But when it comes to the product boxes, which you open with rip tips that you earn for free, are on the very bottom of the shop tab. Can these product boxes have their own separate tab? Like, I get it, you guys need to make money, but I would love for the convenience of having these product boxes on their own. Also, when it comes to opening product boxes, let us mass open them. I don't want to keep seeing congratulations every 5 seconds. Now my final gripe with loot boxes. Why are we gambling for items that are guaranteed? Once you've gotten every item in that product box is locked forever. You can't pull another item from there because you already have them all. And you don't get repeated items, making it completely redundant of what a loot box actually is. So instead of having us to gamble what's in the box, allow us to pick what item we want out of the box, and then scale each box by rarity. The very common boxes cost 100 rip chips. The ultra rare items cost 500 rip chips. I also don't like how these objects are mixed in with the clothing on these product boxes. Yes, they do have a separate box for objects, but that's just different colors of the objects we already have. When it comes to the basic ramps, rails, and mani pads, I would like that to have their own separate box, so I can guarantee what item I actually want. When it comes to character customizations, I know they said they're going to bring new features. I would like the ability to have preset skaters, where I could change my outfit on the fly or just be a completely different person. As for the daily or weekly tasks, once we complete it, can it just auto-claim? Sometimes you'll just forget about it until days later. Also, when you want to level up your neighborhood, you have to go to the shop. Can it just auto-level up? And now for some minor gripes. Personal stats, where are they? I would like to see who has the longest grinds out of my friends list so I can beat them and brag about it. When in replay, you hide the UI, you still have some of the bit of the textures still in the top right. Please remove them. This is for PC only. Anytime I'm in a menu or looking at a cutscene where I can't control my character, my mouse is always on the screen. This even shows up in replay. Glad I have a second monitor so I can move the mouse over, but it's very unfortunate for people who only have one. I do not want to see the mouse on the screen unless I move my mouse. HUD options. I'm glad I was able to remove the toolbox, but can I please remove the compass and the neighborhood that I currently am in? When you pop a trick, hold a trigger, and then get off your board, sometimes you flip upside down. I have figured out that's only directional. I turn around, that does not happen. Please fix. This one's for my hippie flippers. A lot of the handrails have stems that are way too close. Please spread them apart. And lastly in this missed category, textures. I'm not talking about how they're bad, I'm talking about they just don't load. It's very common for me to have completely black roads, only because the server cannot load the information fast enough for the texture to be streamed. That's why I would like to offer an offline package where I can directly download them into my files. Yes, that will greatly increase the 7 GB download that is for everyone, but I have the space for it and I would like to download it. This is an option that can be made as an add-on and it is not mandatory for everybody. While in the middle of making this video, they did announce they improved some back-end stuff. While this did not fix the street issue, and it might one day, I still would like this package. Now let's talk about objects. I know 5 objects is not enough for people to play around with, but you gotta remember, you got 150 people in each server. Times that by 5, that is 750 objects. That is a lot of information the server has to handle. But in one of the grind volumes, they mentioned that they were looking into private lobbies. So I hope when private lobbies come out, we could scale how many items per person someone can have. Something about objects that have been in the past 2 skate games, being able to move them with your skater. And I don't mean just for the objects you spawn for the object dropper. I mean all the objects. Like, it would be really fun for everyone to go find every hot dog stand and pile them up into one area. I guess that would also include getting the ability to open up our object dropper and move the in-world objects. Also, give us objects with physics. Every time we place an object, it's static, it stays there. I like that. Sometimes I don't want an object to move because I hit it wrong. However, I would like a toggle on objects to give it physics. A lot of fun things can be had if you give the ability of props to interact with gravity. Final thing about objects. Let us flip them vertically. Oh my god. The amount of times I tried to flip it over using a wall, an object, or something, just for it to go flip right side up, annoys the hell out of me. Okay, now this next one's gonna be short, and it's all the tricks that are missing from the previous games. Finger flips, under flips, grab grinds, and sketching cars. Thank you. Oh wait, don't forget about punching NPCs. I've seen quite a few comments about that. Now for tricks that are in the game but can be improved. First off, dog pisses. What the hell is that, buddy? That is a dog tinkle. That is not pissing. I need more of that extension how it was in Skate 3 and 2. The next trick complaint, rocket airs. It is so hard to get into a rocket air. In previous games, you could hold a nose and then grab the other trigger to easily go into a rocket air. Here, you can't even do that. You just stay holding a nose. When holding out a no foot or a 1 foot grab variation, swapping to the next grab just does not work. In the previous game, I can hold out a Christ air and easily transition into a no foot air. Here, if I do the inputs too fast, they just pull out the same first trick. You can even see my inputs in the replay. I know Dies has mentioned this, but when I ollie, can I hold my stick in the same place and then grab my board so I could tail grab, which leads into a tail walk? Because this game I have to reset the stick to neutral and then do the grab combination. No complies are in this game, and it makes you do a 180 in switch stance. Pretty cool, but can we just also have the option to do a regular no comply like in the past 2 games? Or better yet, add more no comply variations? That would be pretty cool. When initiating a flip, sometimes it does the opposite flip rotation. Speaking about flip rotations, in every game you are only allowed to front flip, spin to the left, back flip, spin to the right. While that's technically false, you are able to front flip and spin to the right and back flip, spin to the left. It's just that you wouldn't get the same rotations and you'd be fighting the game trying to give you an extra 180. Can I please have the same spin rotations in a front flip and back flip for both directions? That would be great. Now for the last thing about flips, multi-flips. In every game, you had to trick the game that you were going to land 1 flip and then your flip rotation would continue. There are multiple areas in this game to where you have big air. Can I please flip more than once in one air without tricking the game? Yes, I can if I played on Xbox One or PS4. For whatever reason, last-gen consoles have the ability to do a double flip. Don't ask me why. In this game, we can hold flip tricks, such as kick flips, heel flips, shoves, trays, and lasers. But what about the 3 hards and the 3 inwards? Why can't we hold those? I have had a complaint that late shoves just don't look good, that is all. But more on late flips, it takes forever to pull one out. There's a pretty long buffer from flip trick to late flip. In previous games, I can pull them out immediately. In this game, I can't even do it on flat when I have a maximum pop height. Speaking about pop height, why is pop height scaled to the height of your character? If you have a lower height, you don't pop as high. When it comes to spinning on flat ground, it's hard to complete a rotation if you tweak a grab. Being able to complete a spin while tweaking a grab has been in every skate game. I know you can get the 360s around if you do a pre-wind spin, but tweaking a grab should also do the same thing. Getting more into the comp side of things, when landing in a fakie manual or a nose manual, if you so happen to flick your next trick really fast, sometimes it just gets caught up on the ground and you trip over. Scoring in this game needs to be improved. I'm talking about repeats. When you repeat a trick, you get less points. However, the same trick also counts as its 360 variation. For example, I do multiple hard flips and eventually I get less points because I have repeated it. Now, if I do a 360 hard flip, which is a completely new trick, it counts as a regular hard flip and it gives me the repeated points. More on points, when you're holding a sequence and landing your last trick in a sketchy, instead of reducing the points of the last trick, it reduces the whole sequence. This can also be true for the opposite way. When you land clean in the last trick, you get a 10% of the whole sequence. However, that happens very rarely. I would suggest watching Beamage on anything comp related, whether it comes to meta and or bugs that need to be fixed. Now more on the misc side of the things, like different style options. Previous games you had the standard, aggressive, loose, and OG. Here it's type A and B, but I don't know if that's just for the offboard section or that does affect skating as well. Not only style options, but posture options as well. On top of more options, we need trucks and wheel settings. I would like to have the loosest trucks and the softest wheels so I can carve up buildings a lot easier. When it comes to the hollow meat portion, can we add back spinning? As of now, you can only hold a pose or do a cannonball roll. There's no actual spinning unless you hold a trigger and spin left or right. Bring back the torpedo spins. When you're standing on your board with no momentum, doing a tic-tac or doing manual wiggling, it takes forever to get anywhere. Can you please increase the speed on that, or at least make it feel like it has less friction so we can move? In previous games, if you held out a nose manual or a fakie manual at high speeds, it would be pretty hard to control your character. But we've managed to use that technique to ride up walls a lot easier, so please bring that back. In Skate 3, you can run down hills, which increases your run speed. Running down hills in this game doesn't do anything. In fact, you do nothing standing there on the slope looking like a mountain goat. When you let go of your board and it falls to the ground, there is no momentum. There is also no kicking it around like it's an object, just like it was in Skate 3. Also, when you run and jump to get on your board, there is no speed transition. You just stay where your board was planted. Now, two more things about vert. When it comes to dropping in, can we drop in from a higher height? Like, yeah, you could drop in if the quarter pipe is pretty big. But what if you want to drop in from a wall that transitions into a quarter pipe, like this part of the map right here? I try to drop in and I pop out from the ledge and fall to flat, instead of naturally going down the wall and into the quarter pipe. And lastly, this is pretty big on my list for vert. Can I pump in a manual? While in a manual, pumping does nothing. You were able to do that in every game, so please bring it back. And that is all I have on my list of things that I want to see in this game. If you have an idea that I have not said in this video, please write in the comments, and maybe a dev is watching and they'll take good notes combing through this comment section. Until next time, I will be live on my second channel, messing up the game. Oh, whoa! Whoa! What the fuck?